to see us through the dry season pretty soon. And maybe with the moon waxing the way it is, it's going into full moon. We're here on the open area. Just ahead of us are some of the wildebeest. They're all relaxing in the shade. They're all lying down. You can't see them from here. Mainly because I didn't really want to get too close. It's really, really hot. They're all lying down in the shade. And just further on, one of the wildebeest with a bunch of zebra on the edge of the open area, sort of hesitant to come out into the open because of the heat. They'll probably come out into this open area as the day wears on. All grazing, not really being very active. It's a very safe time of the day for most predators to be grazing and moving around. Bit of a catch-22 because you've got to conserve energy too. It takes a lot of energy for these animals to keep cool, and you've got to put that energy in by eating. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a drive. We have a lovely weekend drive today. Head up to maybe Buffels at Cutline, have the sun behind us. It gives us a really good view to the east. And we'll take a slow drive, get some air flowing, and hopefully find some interesting things. I know the human world is reeling from a natural disaster at the moment, but here we are on the other side of the planet, and in nature, well, nature knows no difference. We see this a lot. You could have a lion kill, and within 100 meters, be concerned too much with more than their own lives and their own immediate surroundings. And while I would always keep in mind that people are going through an incredibly difficult time in Japan at the moment and other parts of the world where that wave has hit, still, we are going to concentrate on wildlife this afternoon and see what Africa has to offer. Herman said we should go up Gallagher shortcut, so we're going to do that. Starting with the blue bird against the blue sky. See if we can get that. Shall I go back a bit? Contrast in blue is actually quite incredible. Very hot Eurasian roller. Spending his last weeks in Africa, fattening up for the long journey back to Europe. Bye. Beak open, helping to cool it down. Very much panting, as animals do. When you don't have sweat glands, panting, passing air over the moisture on the tongue and the gums, and the blood vessels in the mouth. That does help. Move on. I wonder. Could probably get the angle, or no, couldn't. Trees in the way. There's a moon. A waxing moon. About a day from new moon, or rather first quarter. I was thinking we could have caught that roller with the moon behind it, but bushes were in the way. Something to think. It's a little bit high. Something to think of in the next few days. Trying to get the moon behind some of the subjects. I meant to ask the P-way, were there any blowup at the dam today? Maybe one of our viewers can tell me if you saw any elephant at the dam today. If you're watching Djuma Waterhole Cam, let me know what visited. I was busy doing other things. I'm wondering if this very hot temperature that we're experiencing at the moment will maybe also have something to do with the fact that there is a weather change in atmospheric pressure perhaps. I haven't had a look at the weather forecast. Sometimes I like to see how my senses are tuned to the changes and see whether they're correct or not. Sometimes it can take days, sometimes it can take only a day. Sometimes I'm spot on. But I have been seeing some signs. And I don't think that was for that little drizzle we had the other morning. You see, we're in March and there are already leaves going yellow and brown. Grasses are already dry. Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's carry on. Pretty hot out there. And, well, we just had to restart a few things. Almost on Buffelshoek cut line now, and we'll have the sun behind us for a little while on Buffelshoek cut line and take a slow weekend drive. Let me show you something before we go there actually. I talk about these conical shapes above the ant nests, and there's a very good example. There are actually two holes. Can you see what I'm just beyond the two little lumps of dung that Tara would ask you what it is, so I'm going to ask you what it is, but we'll worry about the dung in a minute. Now, there are ants that are busy excavating at the moment, and every now and then you see a little ant popping out and depositing a grain of sand. And ordinarily they just, well, ordinarily they're busy doing other things, like foraging and feeding, and, well, hidden stuff underground. But now they're getting ready for rain, and what they do is they build these defense walls, I guess you could call them, around the hole. Okay, I can't see a thing. When the rain comes, and the rain will then flatten those cone-shaped things and cover up the hole and prevent water from going in. And we might see other ant species doing something similar. Shall we go? There's been some fires, so there are, well, there is really. There's a bit of a haze on the horizon, and that makes for very, very bright afternoon. I am going to polarize the lights. I thought I'd be able to take my sunglasses off with the sun behind me, but it is actually very, very bright out here. It's probably a good afternoon to go and stop somewhere at Buffelshoek Dam with the sun behind us and spend maybe just 5 minutes looking around the dam. Who knows what will come out of the woodwork and come down to the water. Just passing Tambuti Dam on the left. And to the right is where Mvubu Road comes out. There's some giraffe tracks heading south. Maybe giraffe and a calf will make an appearance later today. Barely a bird flying at the moment. But I have to tell you something, it's times like these that you can find some of the most incredible things happening. You can't take it for granted that because there's an apparent absence of life, and because everything is stuck on the pause button for the heat of the day, there are little dramas that unfold, and it's one of the reasons why we're out here is actually to find one or two of those little dramas, whether it's a squirrel or a snake or a bird or an elephant. Elephants. See, now this is another big elephant bull that also has been called Mgodi, because he's got a huge hole in his left ear, and I'm sure there's a few of you out there that might call him Mgodi. And I don't know if I have even... See, I told you, you just never know when in the heat of the day. Look at that, he's not even standing in the shade. Oops. It's a perfect round hole in his ear. Possibly got so big because maybe there was a small hole or maybe a thorn in the ear that at some point maybe got infected and a little bit of necrosis occurred before the infection blasted it with mud or something. Almost a perfect round hole, and to me that seems like there must have been a little bit of infection and necrosis eating away maybe the skin around the ear for a while. He's a little bit wet, which means that he's possibly been at Buffelshoek Dam. We're not too far from Buffelshoek Dam, it's just over this ridge. So we try and move forward a bit. Well, he's digging for marulas in the long grasses. But he might come out onto the road. I'm hoping he'll go back, maybe back towards the dam. But if he's wet, and he was at Buffelshoek Dam, it means he's moving away from the dam at the moment. Hmm?
You want to move?
Yeah, can I move?
Yeah.
Afternoon, Ellie. I wonder where we could try and get... Excuse me, Squire, but yeah, we're just going to try and get to the other side of you to watch you. Good afternoon, Mr. Elephant. My name is Mark. And that's Herman. And I'd introduce you to everybody. If I could. But meet everybody. Meet planet Earth. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we're down in the dip below Buffelshoek Dam, and we'd probably be underwater now if we were on that side of the dam wall. Just thinking the height of the dam wall next to us and the depth of the water. We followed the elephant, or actually he followed us. We managed to get here. It is very hot and the equipment is battling, but he sprayed himself twice. I mean, he walked down to the water, picked up a bit and went psh, psh, sort of 2 squirts of water, came across the dam wall, and he's gone off. And my guess is he's heading up towards the junction with Nyala Road North. He might be going all the way up to Guaripan. Maybe he'll have a mud bath at Guaripan. But he seems to be suddenly on a mission. He's suddenly picked up a direction and he's marching. And he's probably way ahead of us by now. So we're going to head on and see if we can find him again. So we're going to go the shortcut way around to Guaripan. See if we can't find him again. There are a bunch of other elephant tracks around here, and I've got the feeling when we first saw him suddenly stop and change direction, start marching, had the funny feeling that he was communicating with other elephants. Come to think of it, maybe we won't take the short way around, we'll take Guaripan Road. And I'm hoping we can catch up with him. The elephant is likely to walk in a straight line, but they have been known to follow roads. So far no tracks on this road. We might have cut through. Too sure of the direction he took once he crossed the dam wall. Tracks are here now. Let's come back to the road. Walking quite fast. Now, where did he go? Did he take Nyala Road North perhaps? Down to the drainage line? Doesn't look like it. It's difficult. There are no tracks here at all on either road. Oh, here we go. This could be his again. know he didn't come here. I think he's taken that pathway. I think we need to take Nyala Road north, follow the drainage line. It seems to be where he's headed. And that drainage line will eventually get into the Mulwati. Possible he's meeting up with some other elephant down there. So let's see. Let's go back that way. My guess is already at a place like Central Road Junction by now. We're going to be on the western side of this riverbed we're in. And I think he's walking up the eastern side. But I'm hoping maybe we'll still catch up with him at some point. was hoping to do this road this morning, didn't get around to it. So just having a look at what other tracks there might be here. So far nothing special. Elephants certainly opened this up a bit. They have been here in numbers. This is a little patch of the riverbed where the water surface is or rather the water table very close to the surface. And they often dig here for water. We've had some wonderful moments with elephants right in this very spot. I'm switching off to listen. I thought maybe he'd be here by now. Might have been through here already. This leadwood's been taken out since I was last here. Leadwood in front of me, small one. Thing is, without this elephant feeding, and the way he's walking, we wouldn't really hear him unless he's right next to us. Let's head on up Central Road and towards Guaripan anyway. More elephant tracks in the road here. But not his, this is a smaller elephant that I see. Up on Drakensberg Road now, or Drakensberg Drive, and we are heading towards Guaripan. I'm hoping that maybe we've come around him. I haven't seen any of his tracks crossing. Difficult to tell where he is. I still think he's way down on that riverbed. I may be wrong. His general direction was here to the east. He was heading in a southeasterly direction, and Guaripan is southeast of Buffelshoek Dam. Still, if we don't find him, well, it's the way of the bush, really. There's a very big area to our left of probably about 100, maybe 200 acres. Look at this huge area that we can't get into. Very often I wonder how much stuff happens in there that we don't know about. It's very dense. Drainage lines and gullies. Oh, nothing here at Guaripan, no tracks, no elephants. No wet mud on the edges. So we've lost him. We lost a very big elephant. These things happen. We're going to do Cheetah Cut Line, but before we go south, I'm just going to do this little patch to the northern edge of Cheetah Cut Line, and then we'll go down to the south. Cover most of Cheetah Cut Line. It'll give us an idea of anything that's moved across from the east. corrugation is forming on this road. This driving a bit fast. See something quickly. There's a rock in the road I want to look at. I thought it was a grinding stone. It's not. Hello, Ruth. Thanks for your questions. Ruth wants to know what's the longest they've driven without seeing an animal. Probably a couple of days, Ruth. Several game drives. Aiming for a record this afternoon. Elephant tracks, but not so great. Not so fresh. There's an impala up ahead, so that changes things. Aha, here's some leopard tracks. There weren't any further back. Tara did mention that there were leopard tracks up here. Interesting. Tara says there's some baboons sparring at Gowrie Dam. Trying to think what this could be. Kudu. What did I say? Baboon. Sorry, my brain's not functioning. Thinking of other things. Thinking of the longest I've driven without seeing any game. Here's an impala, just to let you know that there are animals here. Okay, bye impala. Don't even let us look at you. Could be a spotted eagle owl. But Ruth, you know, it varies. A day like today, I don't think it would matter where we are. It's a very hot day and it does have a bearing on animal behavior. The fact that I'm seeing some signs of weather change has something to do with it as well. Or as someone I know says, as well. I didn't know any bit. I'd say that was Karula's tracks and she's got her cubs with her. Unless it's just a very big civet, but it's soft sand, very soft sand, so there's no definition to the tracks. We will go down to the bottom and we're going to come back up along Drakensberg. Maybe we'll do a loop around Leadwood. These tracks are heading north. There's nothing up towards Central Road. So somewhere before Central Road, maybe somewhere near Battleair Road, leopard tracks disappear off of, yeah, fresh leopard tracks. From earlier. Very, very fresh. In fact, so fresh I'm not even going to go to Leadwood Road. So I'm going to go straight back down to Drakensberg. We came up Central Road. There was nothing on Central Road going towards Warripan on Drakensberg. This cat could have turned east. Thank you, Penny. Humidity's up in Durban, so is the temperature. 40 something degrees, huge storm on the way. That's for Durban. We've got very high moisture. I can see some cloud. That also hints at weather changes. You can document this as well, this heat that we have. I would say that we hit pretty close to 40 today, quite easily. And yeah, it normally is a sign of huge weather change. High pressure, high temperatures, and then the pressure drops. And on the other side of that trough comes the next high pressure with the next thunderstorms. We've had so few thunderstorms this season. I'm actually quite surprised. Almost like they're non-existent anymore. Hello, Shelley. New name, perhaps. Are there more kills at night due to cooler temperatures and cover of darkness? I guess you could say that, Shelley. I reckon that's perhaps an assumption one can make. Depends on what species one talks about, though. When you look at wild dog and cheetah, I would say that they predominantly diurnal hunters. Leopard, on the other hand, will hunt day or night. There we go, leopard tracks. See, all the predators are opportunistic, but to a large extent they are likely to take the opportunity if it comes up and maybe go for it. There are also such things as the energy dynamics that are involved in that. You would, as a predator, you would use up a lot more energy going through the hunt during the day, the heat of the day like now, as it would be if you were hunting, say, dawn or dusk, or at night. But I suppose as a generalizing, yeah, I would say yes, you're right. Early morning, late afternoon, early evening. Those of you interested, there's a beautiful shot of a kudu right next to the camera, Djuma Waterhole cam. If you want to switch over to that or open up that camera stream. Tara has it in her sights, as I do an Impala Ram. Very sensitive. As soon as you move the camera, they run away. This Impala has run away. See, maybe I've got a funny feeling we'll find something on Bateleur Road Junction. There were leopard tracks at the junction of Mumba Road. Nothing here now. Somewhere in this block to our right, is my guess, is a leopard, possibly sleeping it up in the shade, maybe even got a kill in a tree. Any Dupin stations out yet? Nothing here. Don't know if we're going to be able to get this lizard in front of us, showing some rather interesting behavior. I might be able to turn off just in front of the shadow of the camera. It's actually digging down to get cooler sand, because the sand is so hot. It's now behind a little piece of grass. Hello, Shelley. Shelley again wanting to know how can we tell a track, or how can we tell how fresh a track is. Shelley, the tracks in certain types of sand, the track itself is very distinct. It has very sharp lines, and it's that kind of distinction that, oops, those very sharp lines that are around the track that give us an idea of how fresh it is, or how soon the animal had walked there. There are a lot of other, oops, where'd he go? Just a little bit further above the shadow of my hat. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here. Let me answer your question after this lizard. I'm just trying to keep track of it. Have you got it again?
Hmm?
Have you got it again?
Yeah. I've never lost it.
You never lost it. I did. Trying to get a photograph of it, but it's...
It's just left of the shadow.
Yeah, I've got it there now. Impossible to zoom in on something like a little lizard and not have a tripod. I'm behind, trying to find the coolest spot of shade of sand out behind the bush. See, Shelley, the conditions are quite dry at the moment. And when an animal is walking, there's a sharpness. In other words, between the toes, say, of a leopard, or at the back of a leopard's tracks, where it has 3 little loops, there's a very sharp ridge to those tracks. And that sand, just with the slightest of breeze and with the age, starts rounding off those edges, making it very, very smooth, should I say. Not very sharp, very, very blurry. It's almost as though if you took a photograph and you were to sort of diffuse the focus a little bit. That's very similar to, I guess, that's kind of similar to what I'm trying to get at. But there are other signs. There are a lot of other signs that will tell you the things that happen at different times of the day, and with different things happening at different times of the day. Doves that walk around on the ground, millipedes that might be around, various different animals, different creatures that move around at different times of the day, can be on top of the tracks that you're following. That will give you also some indication of the age of the tracks. You need to try and get the binoculars out before this lizard disappears. I'm not too sure. It's one of the sandveld or grassveld lizards, but I'm not too sure which one. A reddish russet band down the length of its body. Oh well, it was interesting while it lasted. Sometimes the track can be in a sheltered spot where wind is not going to erode the track, and that can get confusing. And that's where you got to look for other signs of antlions and millipedes and birds, bits of debris in the track that might have blown in, maybe a leaf. And it comes with time. Over time, when you're tracking animals and you start learning to, you start, how can I put it? You get to a point where you suddenly connect the dots, I suppose. You track something, it looks fresh, and suddenly you find the animal, and you can then connect how fresh that track looked and then finding the animal within minutes of seeing the track. And then days gone by when I used to get out of the vehicle and actually go and track these animals on foot, which we don't really do much anymore. because it would leave the vehicle alone for too long. And then of course the camera would there's nothing for the camera to see. It's times like that you'd walk on tracks and sometimes walk a whole day and see how the tracks get fresher and fresher. Watching tracks. Other thing is, seeing tracks in a road, let's say we see tracks today and they don't get driven over or trodden on, and driving the same road in subsequent days and seeing the same track, you get an idea of how the track ages, and you keep that in mind. You know, it's something that your brain files away for future reference. Tucker. No, that wasn't a skink. It was definitely one of the grass-felt or sand-felt lizards. Skinks don't have that kind of coloration. Skinks have also got very smooth scales. I was talking about a lizard the other day whose young mimics a beetle, and I think that is the adult of that lizard. Similar to the spotted sand-felt lizard. And I'll have to get to my reptile book when I get home. I didn't bring any books today. Don't have any books with me. Oh well, not much we're going to do about this leopard tracks. Can't follow tracks we can't see. She has gone off into this block of bushveld. And maybe later, let's give it a little while, she might start walking around again. Any Boyatella vehicles are? Only who?
Only myself and Andrew Housing both. And they get a look in Lungo.
Okay, thank you, Ephraim. Do you know if anybody followed the Nkonzo for Ingwe on Cheetah Cutline this morning?
Negative. I think no one following those Nkonzo.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, there's Nkonzo Mafazi Ingwe heading north on Cheetah Cutline, just south of Central Road. Aha, that's another reason why vehicle, or rather the radio is a little quiet. None of the guards are out from Boyatella today. So Andrew from Cheetah Plains, Ephraim from Gallagher. There goes my dinner at the lodge. I was looking forward to dinner at the lodge tonight. Entertaining guests. Okay, what's our next move? I suppose down to Twin Dams. Go down that way. Twin Dams, Treehouse Dam. See if there's anybody around there. It's not so hot anymore. Not so bright. It's still hot, it's just not so bright. So we can head west a little bit. The sun's about to go behind a little bit of clouds, going to dim things up just a little bit. Not a thick cloud, it's just going to make things a little bit yellower. Like lovely light, just the right kind of light we want to find something nice to film. Squirrel. And before we take Leadwood Road, let's take a look over this little ridge. Oh, little goshawk. Tracks of a big male leopard coming back this way. Female leopard going north, and looks like this male leopard is on top of the other tracks. Definitely weather moving up on the escarpment, that's for sure. Doesn't mean much for us, but there are clouds moving up along the Drakensberg. Right, these are the leopard tracks going north of a female leopard. I'm no longer seeing tracks of a big male leopard coming south. Oh well, maybe we won't do Leadwood Road after all. Pile of rams around here. They're way too relaxed. Lost the road. I don't know if this even is. I think it is. It looks like it. It's so overgrown. This is a little road that goes past the old hyena den. Sorry, Mrs. Golden Orb. Haven't been down here for months. This road is really overgrown. So is this termite mound where the old hyena den used to be. Still something using it though. Probably a porcupine. I can move this with the car. Okay, we'll take a chance on Gary Main. Might be a bit of a highway today. Lovely, no dust, no cars as yet. The monkey with the baby. The last thing I expected to see out here was a monkey running along Gowrie Main. One of the vervets that we see sometimes down the Twin Dams, I guess. Baboon Pan been opened up a lot since I was last here. Looks like a lot of elephant were here. Sometime today too. Every time I come past this termite mound, I expect to see a big black snake. But I know that the chances are very, very slim. Because the snake left its skin there doesn't mean it's going to be back there. Well, I thought maybe our rhino would be here. Some of them. Not a sign of the rhino. At least maybe we can find a crocodile. See if our reptile friend is somewhere here. Ooh. Kingfisher just dived in. Sorry, thick knees. A pair of geese on the wall. Elephant have had some fun here, I can see. I'm sorry to have missed it. It would have been a once-off thing, perhaps. Looking at this elephant dung that there is here. Oh, here's a little croc. A croc. As Tara said yesterday, this is a lot smaller than the croc that's been here. You're only about, let's see, there's 1, 2, that's about 4, you're only about 5 feet. 5 or 6 feet long. That other one was bigger. Interesting. What's interesting is that there aren't really any sandbanks here for crocodiles to lay eggs. They need a specific depth of river sand. I suppose a remote possibility they could lay eggs in the riverbed, the sand in the riverbed below the dam. Not likely though. They normally lay their eggs in the sandbar above water level, above high water level. Remember a long time ago in the Sabi River we had floods, and the floods came the night that I found a crocodile making a nest, crocodile's eggs. I watched to lay them, and then the flood came down and brought the river down in flood. And I just knew that those eggs would be flooded. So Mike and I went up. Mike was a friend of mine, another ranger, guide. And he stood on the bank while I waded into the water, felt around and found the nest under about 1.5 foot of swirling brown water. Mike stood guard with a rifle. I thought I could rescue them. Elephant tracks. And baboon. Baboon have all gone south. Anyways, man, I can't even remember how many we dug out. Excuse me, squirrel. Which way did the elephants go? North. I was going to take Elephant Skull, but these elephants have gone this way. So there's the elephant right in front of us. That's why I went this way. Hello, Mrs. Ellie and little Ellie. Are you tagging along behind the herd? Anyways, cut a long story short, I tried to incubate the eggs, nothing happened. I think they were underwater for too long by the time I got them out. Yeah, I think there's quite a group. Herman's saying more Ellies. Oh, there, down there, look at that.
Yeah.
Bisk must have been who was at the dam. Some of them are a bit wet. I can wrap myself over the knuckles. But this is a dilemma I'm faced with every single time I go out on a game drive. Where do I go first? And now I know that sometimes when I go up to Buffelshoek Dam, I'm going to miss something here at Twin Dams. And when I'm at Twin Dams, I know I'm going to miss something at Buffelshoek Dam. It's just one of those things. Let's see. What is at the moment our best bet is just here with Mrs. Elephant and her youngster. She moves off the road, we'll go down into the riverbed. Slumby and Glove on Twin Dams Road, Junction Elephant Skull, just north. We could try and park here and watch those down in the riverbed. Very limited view. There are a few youngsters playing down there. I'm going to move up a bit. There's some down in the dip at Mumba Road. I think they're at that little waterhole. But I can't get there just yet. Looks like that little one behind her is possibly going to be a tuskless elephant. Doesn't have any little tusks growing out of its face. See how she was tugging at whatever that is that she's just eaten. Little boy distributing his weight on his back legs. Oh, I really want to get down to the riverbed, Mrs. Ellie. Hey, little one. Yes, throw a stick. It's like he's saying, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. I'm really worried, little boy. Looking for something else to throw at us. Yeah, there's the stick. You're standing on it. No. Hello. Your mom's not even watching you show off. Yeah, I see she's gone far away. Young bulls can be quite comical. Hello, Greg. How common is tusklessness in elephants? Oh, it's a recessive gene. It's not, in fact, it's not so much that they don't have tusks. It's just the tusks don't grow out. They're very, very small. Stay in the jaw. Not very common here in Kruger. Different parts of Africa, there are different levels of, or rather different numbers of tuskless elephants that have been a result of heavy poaching, where large populations of elephants were poached, and a lot of the tuskless elephants were left behind, so they bred, and their gene spread. But no, I wouldn't say it's that common. It does occur. We have only a couple of all the elephant that we see here. Look at this little boy tossing old dry twigs around. I mean, there's that one big female I know of, and maybe a couple of youngsters. What's wrong, girl? Because I came up behind you. Leave the wisteria. Don't do anything to that wisteria. I like that tree. Try and creep forward so we can see her with the camera. There we go. Now, just calm yourself down, girl. It was your little boy that was thrashing bushes around, not me. She won't let me get down there. It's not that she's doing it on purpose, she's just taking her sweet merry time about being in the road where I want to go. One thing we could do is I can sneak past her, go down to Spaghetti Crossing, and then come back along the riverbed. Could try that angle. Off you go. I can follow you. can't tell. Another elephant. Going for reinforcements. And here are the reinforcements. The rest of the family. All these little boys. Yeah, now this female coming squeezing through, I think this is who you all talk about as Finn. Hello, Mrs. Finn. Aren't you the one that Glishan called Finn? Hello, pretty girl. You're just pushing all the boys aside to come and say hello. I haven't seen her for a while. You know, touch the car even. They're all pushing and shoving to get a look at us. I think we've got the matriarch up on our right. Quite a big cow. You're coming right through in front of us. Off you go. Come on then. Hello, Mrs. Ellie. Your boys are pushing and shoving in front of me. It's got nothing to do with me. They're doing it by themselves. All these little boys, there's just too much energy. Unless they've got there's something that they're all trying to get at. Kind of activity you get when there's a little hole in the ground and they're all trying to get to the water. But I think they're just getting to the grasses, pushing and shoving, just wonderful moment. We've got elephants so close to us on all sides. She's going to come behind us now. Good night, geese. Is she intimidating you yet, Herman? Shaking that tree. Got a spike thorn next to us. What is it? No, it's a little leadwood that she's feeding on. I think he just likes the sound of the grasses. Doing all these mock charges at us. Turning around and it sounds lovely. You're going to come back again, little boy. There goes the big lady. Oh, it's delightful. I think there's a word. Absolutely delightful. Okay, now we can move down into the riverbed. Do it with the engine on. I think this is a nursery group, and I've got maybe 2-3 adult cows here, and it's just a creche of youngsters. There's far too many youngsters for the cows that there are here, and they're all milling about together, and they're all a little boisterous. So this could be these 2 old ladies that we got here, and maybe 1 or 2 younger ones. They got the short straw. And big old lady, matriarch, said to them, "Oh, you take the boys today, go down into the riverbed, let them cause as much havoc as they want. We're going to take the young ladies and be a little bit more sedate and go and browse elsewhere." It's almost like this is like a Boy Scouts club with the 2 scout leaders, the 2 lady scout leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least 9 youngsters. And all of, maybe make that 10. all of very similar age as well. Let's move up. Age ranges between about, I'd say, 4 and 5. See, there's a little one here, probably about 4 years old. 3 maybe, 3, 4. Yeah. To maybe 8 or 9. So it is rather an unusual group to come across. Look at that little one, peering over the bush at us. Another one got his front legs on top of the other one's back, pushing him around. Almost like all these little boys have paired off into little pairs, and they're all pushing and shoveling and shoving, not shoveling, having wrestling matches. Sorry about that. It's probably getting quite dark down here in the riverbed, so we're going to get out of the riverbed now. They've all gone into some thick stuff. They might appear again out on the other side of this. I'm not too sure. They're in the tree line, sort of between us in the riverbed and the road up on Twin Dams Road. But let's just see. We'll make our way out that way. Buffalo thorn, watch out. Pretty sky. Hello boys, Impala boys. Elephants are coming, like UK. got a feeling the rest of the herd might actually be much further ahead of this part of the group. Because there are a lot more tracks here crossing through and heading north. So there's a big Batman sign in the sky. Gotham needs Batman. Sorry, I just saw some dung I need to look at. Pity, in the distance it looked like leopard, but it's not. Sorry girls, didn't know you were here so soon. Thought you were still further on. Hello little one. There's Finn coming out again. I think that must be Finn, the one at the back there. Look at this little child. Oh, he's bouncing. The older sister's just disciplining him, poking him with the tusks, saying stop misbehaving. He is being naughty, look at that. And she's trying to discipline him. She's pushing him on the ground. They're both off. Don't be bullies. He's only little. There comes Finn to the rescue. Must be her baby. Hello. So well, this little one, this one's only probably going on 2 years old. It's a little one at the back there, about the youngest of this group. But now with them crossing, give us an idea maybe of the composition of this group. Got the two more females coming out onto the road now. The matriarch I think is the one, or the older of the three. I think there are only the three of them. Three females so far. She just told that little boy to stop misbehaving. And what's he going to do? He goes right back to doing what he was doing. Fighting with his cousin. Well, the sky's getting quite dark. A little bit of colour that was there starting to fade. Our days are shortening fast. When in doubt, roll over. Is that the new elephant theory there, little boy? He was shaking his head at us, and then he just rolled over onto his side, feet in the air. So they're all heading up, excuse me, heading up towards Weaver's Nest now. Almost making a beeline for a place like Philemon's Junction. I'd say that Tara should look around. I mean, Philemon's Dip, Philemon's Cut Line. Might be a treehouse tomorrow morning. Although they could by tomorrow be anywhere 5 kilometers away. Oh, we don't have any in sight, so let's start driving up towards, see if we can make it towards Chelapan, Gowrie Dam. Bye everybody. Thanks for the fun. Elephant. New word in my dictionary. Elephant. See, when we eventually find things like elephant after a couple of hours of driving around on a hot Saturday afternoon, find something like that, just makes the wait all the much more worth it. It's just often rewarded. We're just patient and we bide our time and wait for things to happen. We'll eventually find something. I didn't spend too much time with that big bull, Wiffleshoek. Don't know where he went to. He might show up tomorrow. I see something at Chelapan, I think. No. I thought I saw a dark shape, but this time of the evening there are many dark shapes out there. Mind can play many tricks on you. Well, it's unfortunately this time of the year, this time we sort of in between our summer times and our winter times, and eventually we're going to have to be leaving a little bit earlier, but for the time being, because it's getting so much darker so much earlier, we're going to have to we'll have to do something about it. But as dark as it is, I hope you can see me. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. My name is Mark. Herman's been on camera, and Tara in final control. Thanks very much. Hope you had fun with me with the Ellies this late in the drive, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.